welcome to Recharging with Champions. I'm your host, Charlotte Harrell, and today I am joined with somebody super special. This is Kristen Johnson, and Kristen is going to share some of her secret sauce. So Kristen is on our team. She's been a loan officer for how many years? 7 years? Yeah, it's a long time. So you've been in the industry a long time, but you've really made a name for yourself, specifically in educating. But here recently, you've got some cool secret sauce. So tell us about your secret sauce.
Yeah, so I've pretty much designed my career in mortgages on what I wish I had when I was an agent.
Right.
Because agents and loan officers didn't work as closely back then as they do now, but now It's really, I've learned to really partner with agents, and so that we're both kind of like an extension of each other's business.
Right.
And then, so we had, last year after the company-wide Ninja workshop, some agents and I were talking about, I'd love to do like a book club with it. So we finally, it was like a 6-month, we should do this talk. And then finally implemented it a few months ago. And it's been fantastic. So there's a group of myself and other agents, and we've been going through the book, just piece by piece, but also really implementing what we're learning into our businesses. So it's not really...
So rather than like reading the whole book at once, you're dissecting it, and analyzing it together.
Yes, yes. So we're really working on building best business practices.
Together.
Yes, together.
That's awesome.
Because it's really, our businesses are the same. We just have a different role that we play.
Right.
So pretty much all the principles apply equally to, whether you're in the mortgage side or whether you're on the real estate side.
Right.
And
And I love that. So you as a lender, we have our sphere that we're marketing to, which a lot of times is other agents or other business professionals that are in this. So you've made a book club that really can help all of that group. But if I'm an agent and I'm listening to this, or maybe even a broker owner or a team lead, taking the idea of a book that is going to master something that your sphere is into. So if I'm a realtor and my sphere is a bunch of moms, because I'm a mom and that's who I'm around, maybe it's baseball moms, right? Whatever your core is, you could actually take this exact same practice, get a book that would be a builder, something that you guys could do together.
Absolutely.
And still meet and actually use that as a way just to stay, well, let's go back. Something that you do really well, and we've talked about this, is you give education, but you do that from a place of like caring, right? I would say. So tell me, what drew you to the education? What about you is, I want to help educate others, and that's how I'm going to grow my business?
During COVID, when everything shut down, I kind of was the opposite, and I was still crazy. It was crazy busy. It was like drinking from the fire hose, just a gazillion loans that we were all doing. But I never let up on my focus on agent education and support.
Right.
So we transitioned everything to Zoom. And so it really just became, I guess because I don't really feel like I'm educating. I am educating, but I feel like I'm more like supporting.
Right.
And supporting and helping people build their business is just as important to me as it is in helping buyers buy their, first home, next home, dream home, whatever home it is.
Right.
So yeah, it's just supporting the agents that we work with is just very important to me.
So you said this word like 4 times in that description, and you've probably picked up on her word of help. So Kristen, there are a lot of people out there. Your DISC profile is a little bit unique in sales because you have the DISC profile. If nobody has taken this, if anybody wants a DISC profile, reach out because they're amazing, right? DISC profiles are really good for telling you what your personality dominance is, and the D is like a director, the I is interpersonal, which is what most salespeople are, just these high I's. And then you've got an S and a C, which is like you're stable, and then you're organized, right? C is the organized part of the DISC. So your DISC is not as salesy as a lot of DISC profiles, but you have this one driver, which is your wanting to help, right? You're altruist. So if there are people out there listening that maybe don't like to ask for the business, like I can't imagine you going out and saying, hey, I want a loan. Like that's just not your thing, right? No. I'm a little bit more of that salesy person. I'm just going to come out right out and ask. I'm a director, but she is more of that, more organized, but that high altruistic. So I know there are listeners out there that can relate to that. There are people out there that don't like that ask, and Ninja is great for that. But this has been your way, right? You have learned through helping others. You don't have to be that extra salesperson. So tell me how, without asking for this sale, because you do this naturally, it's just part of your MO. So let's share this with the people that have the same hesitation. You have this book club, and people get together, and when you think book club, you think nerdy, boring book club.
Right.
So take me through how you have grown the book club into where you can make it to where it is an actual business income stream for you.
Yeah, starting as a book club and kind of becoming a mastermind. There are some agents in the group that are been in the business for like 2 years or maybe less, and some that have been in over 30 years. And it's amazing how everyone helps. So we're all we're all about sharing with each other and supporting each other's businesses and the different things that we've learned. We all have different levels of experience and different backgrounds. And so just as a group as a whole, we're all invested in each other's success. And so it translates into, and I don't do it for the business. It just kind of comes naturally.
And I've been able to be a part of one of the first groups that you had. And one thing that I noticed, and this is a common theme that I'm seeing, and I know this is not rocket science, but there's a vulnerability in a group like this. When you get a small group in your masterminds, where after a little bit, you let your guard down. You let your guard down. You're sharing your personal experience and the personal struggles you have. And then they're sharing their personal struggles. And I feel like as you get to know that person more rawly, that's probably not even a word, but you know what I mean? Like you're getting to that core value, that then they will see you for who you are.
Right.
And if I'm an agent and I'm doing this small group, or if I'm a lender, or if I'm a title person, and I mean, my title agents out there that are doing sales could absolutely do this for all of the groups, right? It's an amazing idea that you can get a group together and really just get real.
Yes.
Right? You can get real, and then they get to know you.
Exactly.
Would you say that the group size matters?
No, not at all. Even, so we make it very easy to come and go. We have a regular schedule, and of course we're all in real estate, so not everybody can make every single session, and that's okay. We make it so it's easy to, jump in and jump out. Right. Sometimes there might be 2 people here, sometimes there might be 20.
Right.
But it doesn't matter because sometimes we don't even really talk about whatever we're looking in the book. We're just
you go off into something that needs to be talked about.
That week's like challenge, or if somebody ran into something that they experienced, and we just all bounce ideas off of each other.
You said that, and I wanted to bring this up because as a director, it is hard for me not to stay on a schedule and be a little bit more dictatorship about a group like this. But watching how you've done it and her success in this. So again, we want to learn from somebody that has really succeeded in doing this. You have some structure, but you really do let it go off the rails a little bit as long as everybody is in it together and you're diving into something that's going to help.
Right. Yeah.
So do you ever get like frustrated, like we are completely off topic?
No, not really. Because our off topic isn't like we're all complaining about our kids or husbands or what they did that day. It's always something as focusing around business. So if we get off topic it's usually whatever topic we're on.
Right.
We just kind of like really get into something that like spins off of that topic.
It's like somehow it hits some heartstrings.
Yeah. And if it's something that like spins us off, it's usually something that everyone is experiencing or has experienced, and then can kind of step in
feed off of each other.
And
Oh, that's really awesome. That's very cool. If I am a marketing person and I want to set up this book club, can you just give us what steps should I take? What have you learned? What are the steps if I want to do this? Obviously, finding the sphere that you want to do this with would be number one. What do you do in preparation? What did you do to get it started?
I sent out a text to every real estate agent in my phone.
Well, that works, right? Okay, all right.
So there were a couple that had been here for the webinar when we had the Ninja Selling webinar last summer.
Right.
So they knew, so they were already on board. They were kind of waiting for me to start this. But yeah, literally, I just sent out a text to like 300 agents and said, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. If you want to join, let me know. And I had 54 respond.
That's amazing.
And so some people didn't respond at all. Some people were like, stop because I think
Right.
it was like I was like I was like,
I'm not a machine. I get that sometimes.
But yeah, I had 54 agents respond, and about I'd say all in all, kind of in and out of the group, we're probably around about half of that. 25 has stuck with it.
I've stuck with it.
Yeah.
And I think it's really cool today you mentioned that the agents that have gone through this book, because it is so loose, you are not like, you aren't rigid. You let people come and go as they want, but they all want to do it again. Like the same book.
Yeah.
You're like, but that book is meaty, right? If anybody
Yes.
hasn't read Ninja Sales, it is a meaty book. There's a lot of practices to put in there, but they want to do it again. So these same ladies and gentlemen want to come in and do it again.
Yep. Well, and that's what it's more about. Not necessarily reading the book, but it's implementing the systems within the book.
Right.
So that's really what it is in the more of the like mastermind kind of mindset of the group, is that we all have the same goals in our business. You know, we want that work-life balance. We want to show up for our clients, like, you know, 110% every time. You know, we want our clients to have a great experience. So we all have the same goal, but controlling our time gets tough.
Sure.
And
Right.
so it's really about implementing these systems that we're learning in the book into our business and supporting each other.
So doing it again makes sense, because there's probably things that you didn't have time to fit in at that point.
Right.
So now it's time you can add another layer.
Yes.
That makes sense. And if I'm doing this for a group of soccer moms and we all are juggling soccer schedules and all of this, same thing. You just kind of rinse and repeat in the same group, and you can kind of pick up. I love that.
Right.
I really love that. Well, thank you very much. I think this is going to be very helpful. I just can see anybody that needs to get a sphere together. If I'm a new agent and I'm like, where in the world am I going to get my business from? This is something that you can offer, especially if you're not the person that wants to go knock on doors and try to get sales, right? If this is something, if you're relational, you have your organizational skills are great, but honestly, you've made this to where as long as you stay ahead, probably reading the book, right? You stay a little bit ahead so that you can have a couple slides. But you might not even need that. I mean, you could just have a book club where you show up with the book and talk.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
But you've really found a way that you can grow a sphere from a very small group. Just find the people. You found your tribe. Your tribe are agents that want to better their business, right? So find your tribe and then find a book, a resource that you all can go and dive in together and really learn from it. I think that's just really great.
Yeah.
All right, well, Kristen, this is two questions that I ask everybody on the show. They're surprise questions. You're
boy.
Okay, here we go. Well, one of them should be kind of easy just because of the actual topic today. But what is your very favorite book? It does not have to be business. But what's your favorite book of all time?
Oh, my favorite book of all time.
You're a reader, too. That's going to be tough.
Gosh, I don't know. I know I read a lot. I mean, I'll tell you, it probably has to be one that I've actually have read several times. Is Six Figure Women.
Ooh, I have not read this one yet. Okay.
Yeah, and it's
Six Figure Women. Okay.
And I cannot remember the author off the top of my head.
That's right. I'll throw it in the.
So I have
description.
read and reread that book numerous times over. I mean, I've probably had it for about 15 years, and I've read it like 3 or 4 times. It's
timeless.
It sits in my living room. I always pick it up. I can connect with it a lot.
That's very cool.
So.
All right, next question. What is your favorite techie tool or tool for marketing and business development?
That's a hard one too, because I really, really have bad shiny object syndrome.
Yeah.
Like, I
yes,
have so
you
much,
do.
I have
in
so
the
much
last
stuff.
year.
So I mean, honestly, Calendly.
You love Calendly? Oh,
My
that's
calendar.
a good one.
Calendly is one. I have been using Calendly since the summer of 2020.
Oh, that's a very good one.
And
nobody's mentioned that one yet. So
yes.
Calendly, just for you that don't know, Calendly is a calendar that links up with whatever calendar you use, whether that be Outlook or whatever, and allows you to send out a link that people can schedule. It's a scheduler that people can schedule their own time. You book, you set the parameters, you said what they're allowed to do, and then they can book a 15-minute or a 30-minute.
Yes.
It's a really good one. Good answer.
Yep. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kristen. Again, Kristen Johnson with Atlantic Bay Mortgage. I'm Charlotte Harrell here, your host, and join us next week for our next Recharging with Champions.